Welcome to Real Flix Reviews, Movie News. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston. So the question for this week is, what type of movies or movie genre do you not enjoy? And we'll be giving you our answer in just a bit. So the first movie news I found is Ghost in the Shell released their official live-action trailer, which Scarlett Johansson made in 2017. And fuck, it looks terrible. I'm a huge fan. I'm a giant fan of the anime. Don't get me wrong. I've watched everything related to Ghost in the Shell, and I'm really pissed that Scarlett Johansson's in it. I've said it before. I'm a little bit of purist when it comes to source material, and this is one point they should have picked somebody who is Japanese, not Scarlett Johansson. It looks awful. Or maybe everybody saw it was this bad and there was no actor worth a darn who'd willing to sign their name to it.
Yeah. No, I don't see anybody.
It's on our Facebook page right now. You guys got to look it up and watch it. It's, oh my God, it's horrible. And it looks like it's varying a little bit from the movie. They don't really go in a whole lot of backstory in the movies that I know of into her character, into her background. I don't remember if they did it in the TV series. I have watched them all. And the trailer for John Wick Chapter 2 officially released. And this is pretty much like John Wick in Rome. It's the sequel syndrome of, we made a good movie, so we're going to make the next movie bigger and more explosions and more action scenes.
Yeah.
Well, come on, Johnny. He's back now.
I was hoping for something a little bit more mellower than the trailer shows. I'm just not... Pretty much he goes to Italy somewhere, blows shit up and kills things. I don't know. I was just hoping for something more of the melancholy, assassin, not, I'm Keanu Reeves, hear me roar type of thing.
You mean like an emo assassin?
The first movie, other than you fucked with the wrong guy. I mean, it was basically Under Siege. Or but a cool, actual, good version of it.
You mean it didn't have Steven Seagal?
I mean, yeah, basically, yeah. But obviously not a B movie either. But just like, no, you mess with the wrong guy. You mess with the wrong cook. You mess with the wrong janitor. Whatever the fuck it is, it's the wrong guy to mess with, and they did. This one, it was the ultimate get the audience on your side by you killed his dog. Now the audience is like, oh, just go kill everybody. We're fine with this. My mom is probably rooting for people to die.
Wow. I don't think it's going to get... I mean, it's going to get good money, but I just don't think it's going to be remembered as well as the first one, which is generally the problem with sequels, but I think especially with this one, it's not going to be well received as time goes on.
Yeah, no, of course not. I mean, this is it's got everything going for it to be a crappy sequel.
Yeah, I mean,
it's something we've seen 10,000 times.
I don't think it's going to be bad as Under Siege 2 Dark Territory bad, but I do think it's going to be up there.
Hey, some say that was an improvement.
Not by much. I mean, okay, the Under Siege 2 had an amazing bad guy as an actor. It was a good role, but still, you had Steven Seagal waddling on a train.
Which one was in the submarine?
That was neither. Under Siege 2 had a submarine in it, but it didn't take place in a submarine.
Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, because the first one's the one with Tommy Lee Jones and
right, yeah.
And I can never Gary Busey.
Yep. Horseface.
Oh, exactly.
So, are you excited that Legendary Studios took over Dune?
You know what? There's one studio that I might actually be excited to do that. Oh man, not even Legendary can
is this the remake
good for me.
Of Dune?
No, it says that they bought the TV and movie rights.
Honestly, I think if you did it right, this would make a good TV show. The problem they're going to have really is what all the versions had problems with, is with his internal monologue.
I just see this being like a Beastmaster TV show.
I think if HBO picks it up, I don't think it'll be bad. If it's Sci-Fi Channel, I think it'll be on the edge of bad. But there are definitely issues. For one, there's a lot of history in that book. And none of the movies have actually explained anything. The internal monologue is going to be an issue. And a lot of Dune is dry. And and I'm not saying that because I hate it. I actually love the books. I love the movie, but it's dry reading. It's like reading the A+ certification manual. I've actually fallen asleep reading the books, so. Jeez.
Yeah, really, that all of those movies were some of the most boring things ever. But I mean, you know, Legendary has done some pretty damn good things and some pretty visually stunning shit.
I think it really depends on who picks this up and the budget they're given. Because if
here's the thing: is Legendary is also still kind of just a bunch of nerds. You know what I mean? So I have a feeling they're just gonna stick way too close to the source material, which is boring as shit, and there's no way I'm like.
I don't know. I mean, you could go as far as David Lynch. I mean, he went quite a ways from the source material, and I don't think anybody ever thought, oh, hey, that's bad. Matter of fact, I think a lot of people said, hey, you changed it. Good for you. But why did you go that direction?
Drugs.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, shit, Legendary. I mean, they've been on a roll lately, and if they're buying it, I mean, I'm sure they got
ideas,
something in mind for it. You know,
I'm ready to see another Dune thing. The only real major concern, my last comment on this, is it's going to be like the Sci-Fi Channel miniseries, which there's one scene they did a what do you call it? It's the rear projection, and they're walking.
Oh.
And I've never ever been taken out of a movie or of a TV show as quickly as that happened.
Well, I mean, the amount of, I mean, you got a lot of amazing directors that have gone through, you know, Legendary Studios. You know, I mean, really, I mean, some of the greatest movies of the last decade have come out of the place. So I have to assume it's not going to be some sci-fi thing.
I
you know, as in the channel.
I wouldn't think so either. I'm definitely gonna watch it if whatever it turns into. I mean, I'm vaguely excited. Now,
if they can do an hour-and-a-half version of it, I'll watch it.
Honestly, I'm okay with even if they do it within like a longer miniseries and combine other books and just make something, you know, let's like Dune the TV show or Dune, you know, like the 12-episode miniseries, because there's a ton of story.
Speaking of Legendary, though, any of you guys catch the Kong trailer?
No, I knew they were making another one.
It looks really good.
Now, how is this different from the rest of them?
You mean like the Jack Black?
The rest of the King Kong movies?
Yeah.
Let's see. King Kong looks like he's about fucking 200 stories tall this time.
I mean, because I'm kind of curious because there's one King Kong movie where they give him give like King Kong Jr. a new heart. I mean, this is so. Oh. I'm curious.
No, this is straight up like it's pretty much a Tom Hiddleston and company go to this particular island for one reason or another. John C. Reilly is already on the island and sort of like we don't bother him, he doesn't bother us. But, you know, somebody's basically starts some shit with the world's largest, you know, ape. I mean, but we're talking Godzilla size. I mean, it looks crazy sauce.
Ooh. That actually sounds... I'm interested now. It's a lot better than, hey, you ship this large, giant monkey to New York and shenanigans happens.
Yeah,
exactly. It looks way different than, like, the Jack Black, you know, one that was out, like, what, 05, 06?
Yeah.
I mean, it's way off that mark, you know?
And I've always wondered, every time I've seen any of those movies, it's like, so why did you narc dart the thing and drag him to New York? I mean,
dude, do you know how many darts that would take?
I just always wondered whose idea was that to take the world's largest animal and put it in New York.
They spent all the money, all the budget getting there.
Right. They built the cage.
They don't have anything for darts.
Now, are you guys excited at all about Pacific Rim 2? This is another Guillermo del Toro movie. I'm remotely excited about it. I've seen it probably half a dozen times since then, and I actually kind of like it.
You're a mecha fan. I'm not.
True.
That's really what it comes out to being. I'm not a fan of the mecha.
So
I could really care less about Pacific Rim 2.
So it's going to be called Maelstrom, and it's starring John Boyega, Boyega, has confirmed it's the title. What? Ryan?
I said Boyega.
Oh, thank you.
It's all the Spanish accent.
I'm actually excited about it. I mean, I liked the first one. After like 10 times of watching it, it kind of grows on you a little too much.
Oh man, I actually
like a
even
mole?
tried to watch that shit again.
Or cancer?
My problem with it still remains. Give me 5 fucking minutes and some crayons. I will come up with a better design to kill those things.
No, don't get me wrong. It was definitely a little weird.
Insane. I mean, what happened to airplanes?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, so your only solution for piloting these giant things were somehow low jacking, jacking into people's heads. There's not like,
and then the Rock'em Sock'em Robot thing. Like, why not just come out of the gate with your big giant spinny knives and shit and swords? You know, why do we save that until we're on death's doorstep?
Because it's
I
honestly,
fucking hate those types of movies.
this is pretty much. It was pretty much just a live action anime. I mean, it
Yeah, it was
really
live
was.
That's the thing.
mecha.
It's like, wait a minute, you've had that in your pocket the whole time, and now you pull it out?
Oh yeah.
As I say, overkill is better than no kill. You come at me with a gun and I got a bazooka launcher, I'm shooting you.
Right. You're not gonna save the bazooka until you know, like it's you know, you've been shot 40 times.
Yeah.
You're gonna do what the kids do when they're playing Call of Duty. They're gonna run around
if
with
I'm
the thing.
the guy repairing those giant robots, I'm like, look, man, I gave you a fucking sword for a reason. Go
Yeah.
out there and use it, so I don't have to spend 9 months repairing all of this shit.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
He has to spend 9 months of polishing. So here is the question of the week: what type of movies or movie genre do you not enjoy? And I'll go first.
Okay, hold on a second. Can I just call this one for the class and say musicals?
If that's not your if that's your particular proclivity, I say go for it.
I mean, I
Just call
figured
him
I wasn't
gay.
going to be alone on that one, but go for it.
Some of them
Crickets.
I have enjoyed. I pretty much consider any Disney movie at this point a musical. So
All right.
I do enjoy like The Lion King. Not apparently the newer version since they added something.
God, that was a horrible song.
The
Horrible.
the ones that really always kind of bothered me. I'm not a big fan of gangster movies. Now could be talking about like mafia movies or like Blood In, Blood Out, Bound by Honor type of movies. None of them have. They're not really my favorite.
Okay.
There are caveats. Is the Godfather movies are kind of the exception to this.
Okay.
What?
All right. All right. That's fine.
Weird choice.
Yeah.
It's fine. You know, you're
All right,
wrong.
musical. Shut up, musical. Stop singing.
Yeah, Mr. Dancing in the Rain.
I don't listen to Mexican death metal.
What the hell?
That is the thing.
Well, I know
Anything-
that, but that's a bit of a tangent.
As far as I'm concerned, there was this horrible genre that came out of the 90s. Thank you, Olsen twins, for ruining so many people's lives. But anything like the Olsen twin movies, Amanda Bynes movies, and Melissa McCarthy movies.
So you're saying like comedies for tweens and Melissa McCarthy?
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much.
It's like
That pretty much sums it all
I
up.
love how you're targeting one person. Even I'm not that bad.
Yeah, that's. I think it's hilarious. You're putting Melissa McCarthy in the same category as like Hillary Duff.
I mean, that's wow. I mean, I'm not a big Forrest Whitaker fan, and I'm not saying I hate his genre of movies or whatever the hell he actually acts in.
Yeah, but he's not just stuck in one specific genre. He's done, drama. Yeah, you've done comedy.
Well, yes, he
Good
has.
Morning Vietnam. Come on, that's a comedy. Jeez,
And that
Louise, man.
was a Bloodsport's a comedy too. That movie's hilarious.
Yeah, but that's really the genre that it is. And I looked at IMDb just to see if they had a genre that it would fit into, and they did comedy, drama, family. So when you combine those three, I'm out.
See, I think that's even.
And anything that Melissa McCarthy does.
See, I think that's even
Yeah,
worse.
so Lifetime original movies,
Yes, the Hallmarks channel.
the
Crap.
Hallmark Channel kind of stuff.
Well, if it's Lifetime, it's always the guy's fault. So I can definitely agree with not liking that. I just think that choice is almost worse than Ryan's. I hate musicals. I mean, come on.
Well, at least
Wait a
I
minute,
gave
I'm
you
sorry,
a specific thing.
I think
out of all the genres, because I'm sort of just going classic genres here, there's not one of them that I haven't liked 100 movies from that genre, except for musicals. There's like 6.
I can't argue with you there.
That's still probably
You know,
more
I'm
than
not
me
a
personally.
curmudgeon, and I'm not saying, you know, it's just not a category that I typically find myself watching.
Oh no,
You know?
I don't
But
disagree.
although, let me add this though: is Tyler Perry a genre? 'Cause
Yes.
He should be.
I'm gonna add that to musicals.
If I could do it to Melissa McCarthy
Why not?
and Amanda Bynes or whatever Ryan
Well,
called
I would
her.
say, see, I still think those are movies, especially in the '90s, were for tweens. That's a
Yeah.
very odd specific because
Yeah, those movies were not made for you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you probably get people telling me, "Oh, well, Tyler Perry's movies weren't made for you either." It's like, no. You can't say that in reference to like, oh, it's for black people.
Yeah.
There's a ton of movies I like that are quote unquote for black people.
my biggest problem with Tyler Perry is I just don't find him funny.
It's for idiots. It's not for black people. It's for dumb people.
I've actually laughed at Dumb and Dumber and have never laughed at a Tyler Perry movie. I've seen at least a couple of them. I'm sitting there
Dumb
going,
and Dumber is almost a perfect
I
comedy.
haven't
Don't talk shit.
wasted my time to watch a Tyler Perry film. I do know they exist, just like Spike Lee joints, and I just stay away from them. Oh, am I getting too specific for you guys now? Jeez Louise, you asked me to do something, I'm doing it.
I don't know. It just made me laugh. Ryan and I were kind of like, oh, we don't like this, you don't like that. Melissa McCarthy. It's like, dude.
Yeah, I love the vitriol for just this one lady who's actually kind of funny.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
I mean, I think I laughed at a couple things she's done. But
Look, I think she's very funny. I think she's just kind of got typecast, and I've seen the same joke from her 100,000 times now.
yeah.
pretty
But
much.
she's a very funny gal. I mean, you know, I think she's hilarious if she actually does things that isn't, you know, like The Boss.
When she
movies or
does
whatever.
things that are funny, Ryan laughs.
Well, the problem of it, honestly, is the modern sensibility of comedy. It's not intelligent. It's all throwaway body humor. It's all the same recycled stuff.
It's kind of been that way for a while, but they tried to do the Jim Carrey thing with Melissa McCarthy. We're just gonna give you 9 movies that you're the same person essentially.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you take her from like Gilmore Girls, I know I'm reaching on this one. Gilmore Girls to the Ghostbusters movie.
Girls?
She can do wildly different
must have been a
characters
fan.
and be funny as shit when she's not being, the person from The Boss or what have you.
Yes, so basically, she's Nick Cage's accent.
Or Forrest Whitaker's
She's
eye.
just kind of gotten
Shit.
into this character.
Oh wow! Okay, even I think that was a little too far. Oh damn!
I missed it. I was trying to defend Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Real Flix Reviews apologizes about that comment coming from him. That was a little. He made a stroke joke about Forrest Whitaker.
Oh.
Wow, that was a tad bit far.
Didn't he actually have a stroke?
Yes,
Yes.
that's what happened to him. That's why some of his movies, part of his face doesn't move right, is because he had a stroke.
Well, yeah.
So that was, even for you, damn, dude. So apparently you hate Melissa McCarthy and people who have strokes.
And Tyler Perry.
Damn.
The views represented here do not necessarily reflect the views of Old Guy Tech or
Real Flix
Real
Reviews.
Flix Views as a whole.
As a whole, yeah.
I
Only 2 of us, because Ryan would be laughing his butt off if he heard it.
Well, if I heard it, I'd be laughing, but,
I do got to say, though, that I'm not a big fan of the modern sensibility of comedy. I'm a bigger fan of, and everybody knows this, I mean, all of us kind of agreed a little bit of, we think the older style of comedy was a little bit more intelligent. I just don't like body humor. It's all recycled jokes. I'd probably say if you watch like 20 of the latest comedies, they're all the same jokes, all the same archetypal characters.
to a certain extent, only because you see a lot of things from the same directors. I will say that, I do really, really, really dig just the old, style sense of humor, especially from like the 60s and 70s was good, but 40s was great.
Yeah.
But that being said, when Three Stooges were doing, slapstick or body humor, as you'd put it, there was no layers to that kind of shit. At least nowadays when you're watching something like, fucking Step Brothers, there's actually layered humor. You're laughing at a few different things kind of at the same time.
Yeah,
the people who just like dick and fart jokes, they're gonna laugh, and then the people who pay attention to shit like us three, are gonna, kind of get the little subtle jokes that they're throwing in there too, the little references.
But most Three Stooges stuff were shorts, and then you do have
most Three Stooges stuff sucked. I hate to fucking be the bearer of bad news. Well, Three Stooges was not that great. Marx Brothers was better.
Well, no, I actually don't disagree. I actually love the Marx Brothers over the Three Stooges. But the benefit about the Three Stooges, it started and it was over. There were longer versions like Around the World in 80 Days with the Three Stooges, but they weren't necessarily the main characters. Nowadays, you have what would back in the day be considered ancillary characters are now the main characters making very poorly worded, overwrought body jokes.
Well, it depends. I mean, I think there's a class of people, the Todd Phillips camp and the Judd Apatow camp, and
well, you're right.
And, those sorts of things where you have a group of people, who are friends who've made a bunch of movies together. Even like something like the Broken Lizard people.
Well, I'm definitely oversimplifying it. I mean, this is.
I think I know what you're saying, though. That like there's this like studio comedy, this sort of comedy by committee.
Yeah.
That tends to really suck ass. This like, oh, this movie's supposed to be a hoot. Like what was that flick that just came out? With Keeping Up with the Jonases. Zach Galifianakis and Amy Adams, dude that played Don Draper's.
But my big issue with comedies nowadays is...
But that movie was kind of a paint-by-numbers sort of like romantic comedy.
Well, yeah, but I haven't seen a comedy that I'm like, oh, I want to go see that in theater.
I don't think I've ever said that.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I probably wanted to see it because I saw a cartoon. But no, you're right. I mean, and the best thing about Who Framed Roger Rabbit is it wasn't the most intelligent movie, but it was layers. It was well done. It had body humor. It had adult humor. It was almost the perfect movie if you want to balance it that way. Where if you get something like the new Ghostbusters, I guarantee it's just the same recycled jokes that we've heard 100 times.
Yeah, and role switching.
Yeah, well, see, it doesn't bother me so much that you had an all-female cast. What bothers me as much is it's a reboot of something that to me is
sacred.
Yes, I love the Ghostbuster movies.
What kind of bothered me about that one was it seemed just like oh, we're just gonna take this Ghostbusters name, have sort of the outline of Ghostbusters, and just use it as a vehicle for our new jokes. Pretty much. Whereas Ghostbusters was a great movie, and it was layered and it had these things. It wasn't going for a specific type of slapstick humor every 5 seconds.
Well, the thing I really liked about the original Ghostbusters, and I've said this 1,000 times, it was really dry. It wasn't necessarily obvious it was a comedy.
Well, yeah, that was due a lot to Harold Ramis, and the sarcastic wit of Bill Murray that can come off as kind of dry if you don't know him well.
But that's the part that I loved about it the most. It was a comedy that actually made you go, hey, this is an awesome action movie. Wait, they're making fun of everything.
Yeah, now the individual people and a lot of the jokes landed really well. I think Kate McKinnon's funny as shit. She's the nerdy one, the Egon character. She's in Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
She's great, but sort of individually, like oh, as a skit, these bits would work. As a movie, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little biased. I've never been a giant fan of comedies. I've always been an action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi guy. There's movies that are comedies I really dig.
Oh, your lack of comedy prowess is apparent by not laughing at Dune every time you watch it.
That part of that is because I'm a fan of bad sci-fi, and that has all the right mixtures of having bad sci-fi. You have a brilliant book that is acclaimed worldwide, turned into a movie by what some people call an amazing director. I don't know, so I don't really agree.
Just a director who's
David Lynch
taken enough acid.
What it is. The movie's funny, but I'm also a bad sci-fi guy, so it has literally all the ingredients for a great movie.
Yeah.
I also don't take it seriously, so.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take Dune that seriously, or you're just going to be a pissed off fanboy.
You could. I still think that the one part of it that I like the best, and I understand why people like, so you guys especially hated it, was the internal monologue. I actually liked the internal monologue because there wasn't a lot of talking in that movie. Because without that, it would be a lot of silence.
It's really just, it's one of the most joyless movies I think I've ever seen.
That's honestly the way I would describe most Tyler Perry movies.
Well, you know what's irritating about Tyler Perry is, damn, that guy thinks he's funny.
I wish somebody would tell him.
Oh man, it's like you can tell him, but it's like he wouldn't believe you. I don't think, you know.
On the other hand, he's made millions of dollars doing the same hash-old jokes. So, you know, if it's working for him, I say make 1 million more Medea movies. I'm just never gonna watch one ever again.
Hey, look, you know, more power to him. I'm not trying to begrudge the guy making a living. Matter of fact, he's kind of a pretty insane sort of success story. But you know, oh shit. I'm upset when I hear that people like his movies. I'm like, oh no, not you.
Well, it's the first time when I heard I watched a really stupid YouTube show, and it's like, it's literally a guy beating himself over a head. It's like, I'm trying to make somewhat intelligent conversation. This dude's getting millions of dollars by hitting himself in the nuts. It's not fair, but that's life.
But have you decided to ever hit yourself with the nuts?
No.
Well, you could be making $1 million at each nut.
Seriously, come on now.
Well, how about I film you do it, and then I'll rake in the money because it'll be my YouTube channel.
You know, I'm only an accidental masochist these days. So, you know, not something I'm going to be trying anytime soon.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston, thank you for watching.
Goodbye.
Thank you.